click this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, everybody? Today, what we're going to be going over the new Star Trek Lower Decks Challenger series that has been announced and fully previewed by UniVersus Games. So what we're going to do is today we've got the Tendi Challenger series deck for us to look over. If you're interested after this video and picking these up, these will be live December 16th. Let me double check. December 16th, that's correct. These will be available for you to go pick up at your local game store and potentially some big box retailers. But our goal here today is I want to look at all the cards. I want to look at them and see how they relate to each other and to the game of UniVersus as a whole. So without further ado, let's look at Devana herself. So we got Tendi, Eager Science Officer. She's a 7-hand size, 20 health character with the keywords Ensign and Healer. So anything that references Ensign or Healer, she gets to use. She has the Chaos, Fire, and Life symbols. So those are the symbols she's allowed to build her decks under. And her two abilities are Response. After a player gains health, so me or you, their next check, me or you, gets +1. Okay? And then, it's December 6th? Am I crazy? Oh, it's December 6th. You're right. It's December 6th. Boop, boop, boop. It's December 6th. My bad. Response is her second ability. December, sorry, but 16th. No. Response, lose 1 health. After an attack is played, it gets -1 speed or gains stun 1. And so when I play a move, I'm going to start committing down your board by giving all my moves stun 1. When you play a move, I'm going to lose a health to give it -1 speed, a small price to pay whenever I just block everything, right? If you've got a 5, 6, 7 damage move that I can successfully block, then losing the 1 health is not that big of a deal. But on the other side, the other thing that this does is a lot of times in the history of the game, when we've seen a character that says, when you gain health, do a thing, in UniVersus, your health total cannot go above this 20. And so a lot of times the characters have a hard time getting this response off because they have no way on their own turn to lose the health. And so Tendi has a way to lose the health, and so her puzzle, her question is, how do you gain it back? And so let's take a look. But every one of these decks comes with not 1 but 2 character cards, and so I do want to look at the second Tendi as well. Tendi, Mistress of the Winter Constellations, 628. She has the Pirate keyword. When we are Chaos, Death, and Life rather than Fire, as looks like it's been replaced. It says Response, lose X health. After an attack is played, mind yours, it gets +X or -X speed, max 2. So I can lose 2 for it to get +2 or -2 speed. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Especially if the rest of this kit is going to be about gaining this health back. That is a good ability to be able to overtake what my rival is doing, or defend yourself. Response, after your non-throw attack deals damage, your rivals each lose 1 health and you gain 1 health for each rival you have. So traditionally, UniVersus has been played as a single player game. This is making it seem like there is a way to do multiplayer that is available, which is interesting. There's no official multiplayer rules when it comes to UniVersus, and so this verbiage is a little weird. But hey, we'll see what happens in the future. But this is basically just like, hey, after my move hits you, you lose 1, I gain 1, which makes sense with the after I lose health. And so I essentially can lose 1 health to give my move 1 speed if I wanted to, right? Because it's max 2. And then if I hit you, I gain that health back, and then you lose a bonus. So essentially 1/1 at the low cost of nothing for free. So my 6-hand size character gets 1/1, but if I want to push a little bit more into it, into a little more speed, I can pay more health. All in all, both these characters are really cool. I like them both. I think that both these characters are good. I think both these characters are playable. I cannot tell you which one I actually like more, truthfully. From here, we have an emergency treatment. It is a 5/5 action. with a 1 mid block. So its abilities is played from the hand rather than played from on your stage. And it says this card ignores progressive difficulty. Okay. Response remove. So after your rival, after a player loses health, mine or yours, that player gains 3 health. So I can give you bonus health if you'd like. The next block played this turn ignores progressive difficulty. So if I play it on my turn and I gain my 3 health after I lose due to some amount of cost from my character card, my rival's next block is easier to play. So kind of ignoring the plus speed that we have here, or the the bonus stun. This card is interesting because we just want it to be played on their turn, so that I can play a couple blocks and then respond, lose my health with Tendi to give the thing minus speed or minus speed, and then I gain my 3 health, and then say my next block is a little easier. I think this one defensively is probably very cool, but if you absolutely have to just like gain the health on your turn, it is a bit of a downside. It lets your rival have a little bit of agency over what's going on. It's interesting. It is some interesting design. Up next, we have an asset, which is the T88. It is a tech card. It's a 2/5 with a 0 low block. Chaos attuned. I will note that this is life attuned. This is chaos attuned. So you can have both of these cards inside of both Tendi's decks. Yes, because all these cards are going to be chaos life, I assume. And then enhance commit. Your rival mills 1. If they mill a foundation this way, their next check gets -1. Otherwise, your next check gets +2. So if it's in anything that's not a foundation, your check's going to get a little easier. And if it is a foundation, their check's going to get a little bit worse. This does work on block. This works on them playing foundations afterwards. This works on them playing attacks. This works on them making control checks inside of their attack. Like an ability says, enhance, check a 5, do a thing. This can ruin that by 1. Also, eager science officer also can ruin those kind of checks, or increase those kind of checks. But the craziest thing about this card is it's not unique. And so if you can figure out a way to get multiple of these inside the stage, either your checks are going to be immaculate and incredible because of all the +2s that you're going to get, or you're going to ruin your rival's checks by giving them all -1s. So if you have room for T88s in your deck, like if you've just got the space for the 0 low block asset, I think this card is probably playable. I think this card is probably okay as long as you've got the room. Assets are a little tough to stomach right now, but this is a good asset, depending on if you can figure out how to set up and utilize both sides of it. Moving on to the Cerritos, the USS Cerritos in CC 75567, 643 mid block. One Cerritos comes in every single one of these challenger decks. There are 4 of them total for our 4 main characters, and there are alternate art Cerritoses that exist that are pretty rad. Form once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand, 1 to the bottom of your deck, and 1 to the top of your deck. So look at the top 3. We know what we're going to be checking. We know what we've added to our hand, and then we take a card that we don't want, we slam it to the bottom, and we'd have to worry about it for practically the rest of the game. This card is crazy if you get it out. But again, this 6 diff is a pretty high cost, very similar to T88 of like, if you can afford to play this card like the 6/4, it's going to be really impactful. But under the attack cards, we have Axe of Piracy. This is a 3 difficulty, 3 check foundation. It is a 2 mid for 3 with a 2 low block, and it has the Frenzy as a keyword ability and tech. So Frenzy Blitz. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each attack blocked this turn. Frenzy says Blitz. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each attack blocked this turn. So, incredible finisher, right? You play like 3 or 4 moves, they all get blocked. Oh no, or they get partialed, even better. And then you slam Axe of Piracy at the end, giving it like +4/+4. It's a 3 diff that accidentally does 7 damage. I think this one's neat. I think this is super cool. I don't know if it's a 4 of, right? But it is good enough to want to be played at the end of your strings. From here, we've got Black Ops Throwdown. It's a 5/3, 3 high block, 2 high for 6. It is a throw, which feels, I guess it doesn't synergize well with Mistress of the Winter Constellations, but probably feels good here. Let's read what it says. If this attack is not blocked, your next check gets +1. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, this is a cool card. I don't know how great this one is, strictly because this attack is not blocked. It's just because it strictly has the throw keyword, and Winter Constellations does not necessarily want to play throws, right? They want to play more, but at the same time, like, giving this thing an extra 2 speed, so it's a 4 high for 6, that if it's not blocked, your next check is +1, like, is a good idea. So it's probably playable in this character, but it's probably not, like, crazy, right? Extreme Methods. It is a 4/3, 4 mid for 4 with life attuned. It's got a 1 mid block attack weapon. Blitz. Spend a momentum. This attack gains 2 speed and 2 damage, gain 2 health. Okay. All in all, great. Look, we're gaining health. We get +1 on our next check. And then response after this attack deals damage, draw a card. So spend a momentum. It's a 6 for 6. It's a 6 for 6 that probably has stun 1 if you are Eager Scientist, or Winter Constellations for an extra 2 speed and then burn them for 1, gain 1. And then after deals damage, draw a card. I think this card's very good, right? This is a life tech weapon with a 1 mid block that says after deals damage, draw a card. Even a 4 mid for 4 that draws a card is like good, right? And if you have the momentum, like it being a 4 diff 6/6 is like great. I think this card is hyper playable. I think this is very good, and it obviously deserves this rare slot that it has here. This one's good. This one's great. Up next, we've got Liberating Headbutt. It is a 4/3, 3 mid for 5 with a 1 high block. Powerful 2, Slam, Blitz. If you have gained health this turn, this deck gets 1 speed and 1 damage. So it is a 4 mid for 7, or 4 mid for 6 most of the time, excuse me. In Science Officer, it's a 4 mid for 6, stun 1. In Winter Constellation, it's a 6 mid for 6, powerful 2. That's going to burn them for 1 and gain me 1 back. Whew. Good. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. I like this a lot, and it feels good as a 4 diff that has a powerful out. Powerful being like get a bunch of damage based on your momentum. To like be played at the end of a string. This is good. This one's awesome. Up next, we've got Padded Power. This is a very funny picture. 5/3. 3 low for 5. Just as Blitz gain 2 health. It's got stun 1 slam weapon. I think this is probably exactly where we want the common slot to be in a deck like this. It's not breaking the bank, but it does say that you get to Blitz gain your health and then pop off for the rest of your turn because of the, you know, after I gain health or if I've gained health abilities that are active. This is cool. It's got a 1 low block. I don't think there's a 4 of in your deck. I easily see you play this at a 2 of. Easily. As a solid opener. I think this is great. Right? It's got stun 1 from itself, stun 1 from Science Officer, or it's a 5 low for 5 that just like you respond to lose your health, Blitz, gain it right back, and then so it's like a 5 low for 6 inside of Winter Constellation. This card's great. This card's great for both Tendis. Up next, we've got Serving Shade. What an insane card name and insane card art. It's perfect. 4/3, 4 low for 4. It's got a 2 mid block. EX2 and Taunt. The Taunt keyword does nothing. Response : after you lose health, you gain 1. After you lose health, you gain a health, and this attack gets +1 damage. Now, this is not like response when you play it. This is just any time that you lose health at all. Beep, 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 beep. You're just gonna shoot your health or your damage up, which is cool. Which is cool and good. Combining this with in Winter Constellation, this is a 6 low for 5 with EX2, and that's if you can only pay the 1 health, right? And then in Science Officer, it's a 4 low for 5 with stun 1. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. I'm into this one. I think this one's neat. Up next, we've got our ultra rare, which is pretty good. 6/3, 5 high for 6 with a 1 high block. Syndicate skills. It has the echo keyword, which means that if you've got a momentum, you can play it again. And it says after this attack gets -1 difficulty and -1 to its block modifier if you've lost health this turn. So if you figured out how to lose health, it's actually a 5 diff and a 0 high block, which is crazy. And then Blitz, your rival's next check to play a block gets -2. So if they try to block this move, it becomes a 7 high, because their blocks are a little harder to play. It's essentially a 7 high if you want to do some backwards math for 6. Very good whenever we are talking about the Winter Constellation that's going to be burning you for extra and giving it even more speed. It feels like if you have a momentum, like this is just unblockable on this character. Like it's crazy unblockable. And as well as like when I'm going to play it, because we like can play it second and do this for like second after we lost health, and it's still like a 6 diff. It's very, very good. It's very, very cool. And it's even easier if we are playing as Eager Science Officer, because we get to, if we can figure out how to gain health during it, right, we get to increase our check for the next time that we play the card. This is a very clever way to shape an ultra rare for a character like this. I think both these characters really love this card. Yeah, A+, great win. Moving on to the foundations inside the deck, the not so exciting ones, but the ones that boost up and support your deck. It's a 2/5, an embarrassment of duplers at 2/5/2 mid block. It has the keyword dupler, which is so interesting that they have added the dupler keyword. It says you may include any number of copies of this card in your deck, period. And then enhance, commit. This non-throw attack gets plus X damage. X equals the number of duplers in your stage. This card is an A+, 10 out of 10, maybe an 11 out of 11 card. I think this is kind of crazy. This one's kind of nuts. If you have 2 of these out, your non-throw attack gets +2 damage for each one that you've committed. If you've got 3 of them out, you can give something, you get +9 damage across the board. I think the amount of scaling that this card has is crazy. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. I think the only issue with this card is the fact that this card is coming inside of a challenger deck, and we have to get more copies of an embarrassment of duplers. I think that if this card ever makes it onto a competitive list ever, I think it is going to be incredibly, incredibly expensive to try and get more than your X amount of copies, probably 4 copies that you get inside of your deck. Scary. Up next, we've got Best Buddies. 1/5/2 low block has the Life Attune. Says response, sacrifice a foundation. After an attack is played, mine or yours, choose any number of players. They each gain 1 health. What a quick and easy way to turn on syndicate skills. what an easy way to turn this card from I've lost my health to then regaining my health. What an even easier way to turn on Divana. Right? I play Divana. I play a move, I sack a move, my next check gets +1, so my moves are just easier to play. Great. Great, great, great. This card just says sack a foundation. My character's free. Incredible. Very, very, very good for a 1/5/2 low block. Up next, we've got Buffer Time. It's a 2/5/3 mid block. It's got the Chaos Attune symbol. Breaker 1. Enhance, commit, spend 1 momentum. Your rival mills 1. If they milled an attack card, draw 2 cards. Otherwise, draw 1 card. Bit of a gamble, kind of risky here, because like we don't know what's on the top of their deck. And commit, spend 1 momentum, draw 2 cards. Incredible. Commit, spend a momentum, draw 1 card. Kind of lackluster. And so very neat if you can figure out how to get cards on top of their deck, or they show you the cards on top of their deck. Otherwise, you know, in a panic, I think commit, spin a momentum, draw 1 is okay. But all in all, on a 2/5/3 mid block, even if it has the breaker 1, it's probably not going to be worth it to just slam 4 of these in your deck and go all willy-nilly. But I think it's neat. I think it's a neat idea if you are looking for momentum outs on your foundations. Up next, we've got Dupler Emissary. It's a 1/6/2 high block. It's got the Dupler keyword. Does this card say for each number of duplers in your deck? Interesting. So this card can be any number of copies, and this is just, you get 6 extras, or 4 extras, excuse me, because it has the Dupler keyword. Huh. That's neat. So that means that this card is even better. This card's even better. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, now let's just say this is kind of just a bonus card to like help the embarrassment. Up next, we've got Eager to Please, which is a 1/5/3 high block chaos response. After you take damage, your next check this turn gets +1. In a character that gains more health, having a way to get bonuses for, you know, taking that health in order to gain health, feels pretty good. Your own life loss isn't taking damage, correct? Chat plays, that is correct. This only works whenever this number down here on an attack card deals damage to you. It does not work on response lose X health type of ideas. But I think that this card saying after you take damage, your next check this turn gets +1. I think this is pretty cool, strictly because, number one, when you look at it all by its lonesome, when you have one of them, you're like, oh, I took a 4 damage move, I get +1 on my check. That doesn't feel great. But then imagine you have 2 of them. Well, I took my 4 damage move, I get +2 to my next check. That's really good for blocking. And so time that by 4, and we're off to the races. And then it says, it doesn't say that after you take damage, your next check this turn gets, the next check on the next attack this turn gets +1. It does say that your next check this turn. So if you have Eager to Please, you can play another one. You can get hit again and then double up on them again. So imagine I have 2, and then I get hit a second time. It's now +4 to my check. And I'm for sure going to block the third move. For sure going to block the third move. From here, we have Makeshift Repair. It's a 2/5/2 mid-block life attuned response flip. After an attack is partially blocked, the blocking player gains 3 health. It's so interesting to have this deck be about, like, have this, like, subtle teamwork theme to it, because it's just making me read the cards a little wonky, you know? After an attack is partially blocked, the blocking player gains 3 health. It's weird. It's very, very weird. It's weird. Because obviously you're just going to use it on you, right? Like, I partial block a move, I gain my 3 health, and then I lose the rest. But if there's ever a scenario where I need them to gain health, maybe it's good. Up next, we've got a Piratical Past. Or Piratical? Piratical. 2/5/2 high block chaos attuned. Enhance flip. Your rival's next check to play a block gets -2. It's essentially like a roundabout way to say flip +2 speed on a 2/5/2 high block. But again, it doesn't, because it is to their next check, and it's the next check this turn. It does carry over if they decide not to go for the block. So if you've got a 2/5/2 high block on the chaos symbol that does say that you get +2 speed. This is just a better card all in all, just because it says that, like, whatever the next check that you play is just gets -2, which is just good. Up next, we have Summoned Home. How sad. 1/5/2 low block life attuned. Enhance flip. If you've gained health this turn, this deck gets +1 speed and +1 damage. Otherwise, gain 1 health. What an enabler for any of your if I need to gain a health cards to be useful. This is just flip, gain a health. Otherwise, we're off to the moon. I'm going to flip and start giving symmetrical stats to things. I think this one's fine. I think it's okay. I don't think it's that much to write home about, but it's chill. Up next, we've got the Dog, which has the ally keyword. It's a 3/5/2 low block with the chaos attuned. Enhance once per turn. If you have gained health this turn, your next check to play a card gets +1, period. If it's your turn and your rival has 11 or more foundations, your next check gets +4 instead. What an easy way for you to pass your checks. And again, this has the ally keyword. It does not have the unique keyword, saying that you can only have one of it in your stage. And so let's take and imagine I've got 2 of these. They go to 11 foundations, and I give my next check to play a card +8. Yeah, it's passing. Yeah, it's passing. I'll commit nothing. And it is once per turn, so if you've gained health this turn, your next check to play a card gets +1. This is playable on my rival's turn. Just because I don't get the bonus upside of if it's my turn doesn't mean that I can't do this via defense, right? I have the dog. I've got things like eager to please. I take the damage. I get +1 on my check. I gain a health. I then say if I've gained health this turn, I get +1 on my check. Like, look, there's so many ways to cheat our own control check. It just feels good. It feels awesome. Very, very cool thematic chaos idea. And the last one is Unyielding Enthusiasm. It's a 3/4 3-minute block, life attuned, response flip 1 foundation. So not necessarily this one, but any foundation you have in your stage. After you gain health, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom of your deck. Wowzers, that's so good. Hey, I gained health. I look at it. Oh, that's an attack, and I don't want to check this 3. I'm gonna put it on the bottom of my deck, and then we are good to go. I think this is a good one. It's not unique, but I don't know if you play more than a one of it at a 3/4 3-mid block kind of. It is a deck building cost, that is for sure, but its ability is very, very good for being a 3-div. I like this in a lot of these life decks. So with that is everything that I see for Divana Tendi, either Eager Science Officer or Mistress of the Winter Constellations. I think this deck is very cool. I think the character is very cool. I loved her in the show, and I'm excited to build some decks, which will be out December 6th. And you can go pick those up at your LGS, your local game store. If you don't have an LGS that carries UniVersus, no stress, no fret, no worry. You can go on to the main UniVersus website, and you can request that they reach out to your local game store in order to help grow the game and get you some awesome Star Trek lower deck decks. Lower deck decks. There's a comma there. So with that, thank you much for watching the video, and as always, I wish you well.